There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? How good are these boxes? Wow, this is tougher than I thought. So much. Didn't realise how much we carry around, especially the screws. Probably got 50 to 60 boxes of screws that we're sorting through and figuring out how they all go in. But now we're just splitting them apart. I've never really had this system, to be honest, where I do use the trays and the troughs. But we're obviously going to try and make it work. We've just got the boxes out just to spread them out and see what goes in what. And all of this we're not taking, we're not using those anymore, we're not using those power tools, boxes we're going to chuck. But we're just making mini micro piles of everything really to see what we're keeping. That's all the paint that we're going to have, the pencils. That's a bit of our sanding kit, our grinding and our hole cutting kit, and we've got a few drill bits over there. We're not taking all the drill bits, got too many. And we've got all the cats, we've got all the cat tools in here. Managed to get them all in. Yeah, I think we're going to do that, and then one more box for all of the drills here and the SDS drill with the Makita one. Other than that, we're still going through and just got to be heartless, just get rid of stuff we're not using. These just get left to the side. It's only the little accessories. Right, so it's coming up to the end of the day. Sean's going home, so there is a lot of crap around at the moment, and it's going to rain tomorrow. Plus, it's unsafe to leave it out in the garden. We're just going to lock it up, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Say bye, Sean. Bye. Bye. Day 2, we've been on it for about 2 hours now. We had to put everything in the workshop last night because it rained and it's dried up nicely. But we are getting through it and we're sorting bits and pieces out. I do quite like these little organisers, especially the deep ones. The deeper ones, the extra large, seem to do it for us. The thinner ones are generally for the smaller bits, tiny screws, tiny pins. But we're getting there. We're getting through bits and pieces, getting rid of all the old boxes, which is great. And we are slowly reducing the amount of bits that we have out, and anything that's a trend box is literally the only things that we will be keeping. We've sorted through all the screw boxes, all the old power tool boxes, and the old bits and bobs boxes. That's a tongue twister. Bits and bobs box. So this is what we got. All the old boxes from the tools and screws, or some of them. A few more old boxes which we're not going to have anymore. Problem is, what do I do with them? Everything in here is probably going to be binned or stored. It looks like it's going to rain. Every now and then you get a sign, a few drops, so making me feel a little bit uneasy, like it's going to just rain and just soak all our tools. So here we have it, the complete set. It's taken us around 8 hours to get to this stage, Sean and I, so 16 man hours altogether. Got rid of a lot of crap, a lot of boxes, a lot of packaging, a lot of tools, a lot of doubles and triples of everything that we had. And we didn't end up using the entire set. We just used 2 of the Pro carts, not the wheeled bases and the boxes. I'll show you those in a bit, but we managed to do it and we are really, really chuffed. Probably a bit more impressed than I thought I was going to be at the beginning. So shall we go over and I'll show you what we got? But stay tuned right to the end, because what we're going to do is going to show you all of these stacked up in 2 towers, which is quite exciting because their footprint is really, really tiny. It's really worth waiting to see those. So let's go round and I'll show you initially what we've got. So the front 3 are Pro organisers. We've got an extra large and we've got the medium. The thinner one there is a medium, 2 extra large. We didn't use any smalls. I don't think they do the smalls anymore. So we've got a box here, which is a Pro organiser, extra large box for SDS bits, flat bits, drill bits, Allen keys, different sorts of bits and pieces, and a few small spanners that didn't go anywhere else. All these little 3mm that we use quite a lot. Just general drill bits and little accessories like that. Let's move on. On this one here, another extra large Pro organiser. We found that all of these screws were better off in a bigger box rather than these smaller boxes. We did test it in one of these and they didn't work, because when you pick up a bunch of screws, they're a little bit messy and they end up sticking up, so then you don't get the lid down. So we found that this is going to be a lot better. We did try all of these screws in the smaller version. It didn't work. These little ones work okay because you can compact them. But the bigger screws, you didn't get enough in there and you couldn't close the lid. I'm really happy with this because we got a decent amount in each box, which means we don't have to refill every job, and that was the worry for me. Moving over, we've got the medium Pro organiser. We're really happy with this and we think it's like a little work of art. Sean was like, oh, it's so pretty. Look at it. It's nice. So raw plugs, washers, screw caps, angled brackets, tiny little screws, shelf pins, as you can see, loads of other bits, raw plugs and plasterboard fixings. And that works really well and it closes fantastically, like so. Moving on, another box. So this isn't a Pro organiser, this is part of the Pro Cart system that you get if you buy the whole set. This one is basically for our biscuits and general ironmongery, I guess. We've got strapping, we've got floating shelf brackets, we've got push catches, space plugs, grommets, hang and rail brackets, masking tape fit in there nicely. But, you know, we're happy that our biscuits are there to hand, so this one will probably come up into the room when we're fitting, wherever we are fitting. On this one, we managed to get all our Urba drills. Again, this is part of the Pro Cart system. The rest of them are, to be honest. They're all stackable, and we just used our Urba drills for now. Unless we get more trend equipment, which we are looking to do in the future, we haven't got enough to take, otherwise we're sharing drills. But we've got 3 combis and 3 impact drills, and if you have a look here, we're just too many batteries, to be honest, but there's nowhere else for them to go. We've got 10 2AH batteries and 2 chargers. We didn't really want to mix up everything. We wanted all the power tools in one go, but obviously we have to just make use of every space. And so we just decided all our paint equipment is in here. We got rid of that whole case that we had and we downsized it to a few brushes, a few roller heads. And here we got electricals, screwdrivers, crimps, and a few connectors and a couple of plugs. So electrical and paint had to go in there because it was the only space for it. I'm a bit OCD, don't like that, where I like to have all the tools, all the accessories, all the fixings, all the drill bits, but unfortunately we couldn't here. Do you remember that last video that we did, or the second last video, the cat tools? We've managed to get all of them in here. Power tools, so yeah, we've got 1 4AH battery and 2 of these 2AH batteries, plus we've got a charger. We've got an impact drill for the power tools. We've got a grinder, we've got a sander, and we've got a cordless jigsaw and a power drill all in there. And they're probably just going to live at the bottom of the job. We're not necessarily going to take this up. This will probably be downstairs, living in the van when we're fitting, or in the porch, etc. They will get used if we're maybe cutting a trim, for example, or cutting a hang and rail. Here, another Pro box. We've just got like things like cutters, sandpapers. We've got jigsaw blades and multi-tool blades and Stanley blades. The glue had to go in there because there's nowhere for us to go, the 2-part glue. And we've got spare saw blades, a stone blade, and a few grinding discs as well. We've got a lot of trend stuff here, and it's quite nice because it all matches the colour of the boxes. This is why I actually want more trend power tools, so when you open them up, it's all going to be red and black. And moving on to the 2 big boxes at the back. Remember, these are the wheeled ones, and we managed on this one just to get a couple of cable ties, and they slip in and out. They're perfect place for the saws, and they don't hamper the wheels or anything. Silicones, corks, cleaning equipment, window lean, surface cleaner, yellow cloths, and obviously the tubes and stuff for your siliconing also, and the bits to clean up your silicone. If you're no good at siliconing, these are perfect. So yeah, that is all the siliconing and the quick cleaning boxes. Moving on, hand tools, and we downsized the hand tools. Most basic hand tools, to be honest. I'm not going to go over them all, but it's hammers and squares and a few screwdrivers and a few random bits and pieces. When you're on site fitting wardrobes, you tend not to use many of these. You just generally use squares, a couple of chisels, tape measures, and combination squares, a couple of clamps, a few others obviously, and the last box. We didn't want to bring the old plunge saw box because it was crap, so we've put that in here along with some CTS connectors. We've got 2 of these to go with our CTS hoses. That's part of the Hoover. So when we're just changing tools over, we can click the extraction hose from the Hoover from one tool to another and have extraction quick release. That's what the CTS hose does. And we've got a spare blade in there, a professional one, a nice expensive one. Meant to be really good, those. In here, we didn't necessarily want to mix and match our box, but we've had to put a bit of PPE equipment in here. One thing we haven't got is ear protection, which we need to go in the workshop and get. But we've got a multi-tool in there, and we've got an STS drill, a Makita one, but unfortunately, that's going to live in there. Anything else? Around me, we've got the usuals of the 2 benches to work on, our dust sheets, Hoover, hop up, CTS hose, ladder, broom for cleaning up at the ends, and the leveling equipment. Again, these aren't going to go in boxes, are they? But we got the levels and the fold out squares. This had to go loose, obviously. That's part of the plunge saw. And breathe. Also the radio, that's probably the most important part of the job, isn't it, Sean?
Yep.
Otherwise, yeah, otherwise you hear me singing. Otherwise I sing Sean songs all day long. Other than that, yeah, we got the Hoover, and I'm guessing that you're gonna wanna see all of this stacked up and actually see how compressed it actually is. What about you, Sean? Are you excited?
I'm excited, yeah.
Say yes, please.
Yes, please.
All right, we're gonna compact it all, and I'm gonna show you how small these boxes actually go. Don't go anywhere. That was quick. Last box. It's a shame they're not equal or symmetrical. Maybe we could just put a box on there, Sean. What do you reckon? Yeah. Just to make it look symmetrical. Remember, these slide and then clip. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? How good are these boxes? Right, I've not tested the weight. I've not tested the weight. So it's all in the testing, isn't it? Right, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably like carrying a small car. But for all you Festool people out there who like your sustainers and like to carry 62 sustainers on one trolley, you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, fantastic. Look at that. Shall we put them side by side and see, or in front of each other and see how much floor space they actually take? Have a look at that, Sean. Whoa. So chuffed. Properly chuffed. Not even a square metre. What's that? 900 by 600? Yeah. Every sight tool that I probably need to fit is in there. Right, I'm getting excited now. Shall we go around and just see if we can access something? So we want that tray here. What do we do? Unclip that one. Unclip that one, take that off. Undo these clips. But before you do, by the looks of it, yeah, you're gonna need to lower that to be able to lift this up. There we go. See, I've not really used these properly or tested them out, but I know you can. For example, if I wanted to get into this box, I don't have to take that one off. I undo that clip, and I can simply lift it back. And this one is locked into position, so it shouldn't go anywhere. I mean, we wouldn't lean it back necessarily. There's a lot of weight in this, so we're not going to lean that 5 kilo lid back and break the hinge, but you can still access lots of bits and pieces. Let's lock that up and see if we can get into a lower box. I guess we could take this whole section off. Let's see if we want to get into here, right? Can we get into it via this way? It's all down to the handle, isn't it? Because if you look round, we got this handle here, so that's not going to lean back. You can for the top boxes, but you know, if you wanted to get into, for example, that box, you just unclip that and unclip that. Depends how heavy they are, and just lift it off. Yeah, and you get to it that way. Overall, probably nearly as excited as when I got my laser, because that was fantastic too. And I think we'll finish it at that. Going to clip them together, lock it up, make them nice and neat and tidy. Right, let's see if we can move that one. Oh, that one's a lot lighter. So soak it all up before I go and move on and show you the ones that we didn't use. Follow me. These are the ones that we didn't use just because we just didn't need to. We wanted to compress the kit as much as we could. 3 medium pro organisers and 2 of these wheeled boxes. They will get used for something, maybe in the workshop. I could just have like a little mobile tool station. It'll be actually perfect on these little wheels. We didn't want 4 things moving around. We wanted to stack it all up in 2 towers rather than 4 because our van is only a small wheelbase. I'll leave that there. Other things I want to show you is all the waste that we got rid of and the old toolboxes. So this is some of the recycling that we got rid of. We got rid of near enough a whole bin, but that's half of it. Right, so after all of that, this is all our old stuff, all our old boxes. Not very impressive, is it? And not very professional. All our old power tools are in there. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. Is it fit for the bin? Probably. So here we have it, our 2 trend towers. 9 boxes in 2 towers, 1 site fitting kit, all in these beautiful, wheelable, stackable organiser boxes. I'm going to leave it at that because I do ramble on. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've taken something away, please like and subscribe, especially subscribe. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.